You want to tag along with us? That's cool. Just give Oscar his space. He doesn't do very good with kids, or adults, or animals. Come to think of it, he doesn't do very good with anybody. Just stay out of his way.
Okay.
So, Sorkin.
Hippie type. Got arrested a bunch protesting for animal rights.
How do I get out of the screen? I don't want to ask you more questions.
So, Sorkin.
Hippie type. Got arrested a bunch protesting for animal rights.
Jeez.
Wait here. I'm gonna go talk to Sorkin.
What should I do?
You wanna help? See if you can dig up anything interesting on our friend Dr. Sorkin in those file boxes.
Cool.
I can't tell you how many times I tried convincing him. The park should be a nature preserve. No theme park attractions, no cages. Hammond never really cared about the marvels I created for him. It's always been about the money. Do you mind if I
What?
your wound?
Yeah,
What?
I've tried talking to her, Dr. Sorkin. It's no use.
Well, she'll need medical treatment when she arrives.
You know, Doc, I saw some bites like that on one of my men back at the visitor center.
Mr.
Call me Billy.
Mr. Yoder, would you please tend to the INGen files like we discussed?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's the prisoner?
Hey, you know who our prisoner is? Because no one else seems to.
Well, I've never seen her on the island before. I don't recognize her as someone who works for INGen. But I don't know everyone, so it's possible.
Sedate the prisoner?
Hey, Doc, you got a pharmacy inside? It's gonna be a long flight back if we don't get this prisoner either elated or sedated.
She seems harmless enough now, and she's adequately secured. Are you afraid she's gonna beat you up?
Well, I do have a history of women wanting to get their hands on me. I hate to interrupt, ma'am, but I really think we need to be going.
I'm afraid I can't, Mr. Yoder. Someone needs to tend to the dinosaurs during this disaster.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sorkin, but INGen wants all survivors back on the mainland as soon as possible. No exceptions.
Why can't it wait?
I'll lose my job. Oh, convince you history.
Someone needs to speak to the board about protecting these dinosaurs. You believe in animal rights, don't you? Wouldn't you put your neck on the line for them?
Huh. You have a point.
What?
As long as John Hammond is in charge, the animals are going to need me here to ensure that they're treated with respect.
Hammond?
Listen, Hammond really made a mess of this place. You have no idea. There's no hiding his incompetence after this disaster.
Well, obviously that's true. If only the board had listened to my proposals. Instead, they just contribute to the paperwork in the file boxes you guys are loading.
That.
Is there anything I can say to convince you to come with us?
If there is, you haven't said it yet.
Right.
I know that you're angry and scared, and you've got to be exhausted. It's so important to you to go through all this. I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
What do they want me to look at?
I'll talk. You listen. I'm here because of the dinosaurs, not for the park and not for Hammond. Believe me when I say I'm no friend of INGen's.
So, anything?
So, what'd you find out?
Looks like Dr. Sorkin wanted to turn this place into a dinosaur preserve instead of an amusement park.
She said
They
that.
didn't go for it, huh?
Why would they? There's no money in that.
So Dr. Sorkin has a weakness for preserving wildlife. Good to know.
I could have told you that.
Do you know, he actually told me it doesn't matter that we have dinosaurs from the Jurassic and Triassic ages living together, as long as it's exciting. Moron.
So how did you know to treat her with a tranquilizer?
Unfortunately, this...
Dr. Sorkin,
As I told you, I'm staying behind to watch after the animals.
I'm sorry, but we really need to get you out of here.
Why?
Wouldn't this place be better off as some kind of dinosaur preserve? I mean, it's kind of stupid to treat these creatures like they're in some kind of circus, right?
You're absolutely right, Mr. Yoder. But none of this matters if the board of directors...
I'm not supposed to say this, but I heard the board is going to hold an emergency meeting about, you know, new leadership. If you were there, You could act as a witness to the events that took place here. They'd have to listen to you.
That's true. I hate to admit it, Mr. Yoder, but perhaps you're right.
And our orders also mention an assistant?
David. Yes. I'm afraid David won't be coming back with us. He told him to stay away from the quarantine
Dr.
pens.
Sorkin, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Now, before we go, I have some work in the lab that must be completed first. Dr. Harding, perhaps you and your daughter would like to assist me. I've been working on a cure for one of our dinosaurs' nastier genetic disorders.
Oh? Which one?
It's dietary. Right up your alley. Dr. Harding, we've done it.
And what exactly have we done?
Reverse the lysine contingency, of course.
Wait, what?
What's that?
INGen, Henry Wu, added a gene to the dinosaurs that makes them dependent on supplements of an amino acid called lysine. Without their weekly doses, they'll all die
You
off.
cannot give that to the dinosaurs. They need to be contained. If any of them get off the island...
Okay, listen. I've been working with the Parasaur's behavioral program for months now. If I go back to the mainland to fight for this place, they'll all be dead before I can get back, along with all of my research.
Parasaurs?
Parasaurolophus. They're herbivores, generally safe.
Let me give the solution to them, to see if it even works.
How many are we talking about?
Why don't you come out with me? See how much progress we've made with them.
Henry, Dad?
Fine. We'll go.
Cool.
I'm glad to finally have you out here, Dr. Harding, despite the circumstances. We've been doing some very interesting work with our parasaurs, behavioral communication experiments.
You've interpreted their calls.
Some of them, and I plan to use that to get them out of the pen.
Out?
Well, I'm not going to treat their water with them still in there.
How do we know there aren't any bad dinosaurs around?
Dino told me.
Well, believe it or not, the dinosaurs told me. See that one? She's the lookout. She'll stand guard while the others graze. If there were any predators in the vicinity, she'd be nervous and emitting a danger call. But she's not. She's calm. Jerry, you can activate the speakers from there. Jess and I will set the various parasaur sounds that play through them.
Dad, it's okay. I mean, it's safe, right?
The parasaurs will warn us of trouble before it gets close.
Stay with Dr. Sorkin.
Dino herding? What now? Dino speak?
So you can really speak dinosaur?
We've been doing behavioral tests using various parasaur calls, playing them through the speakers around the pen. We can't just shoo the animals out, but we should be able to manipulate them into moving using their own sounds.
Cool.
These speakers on the west side of the pen can be set to play a parasaur food call that will attract the hungry dinos. The speakers on the east control the mating sounds that will attract the more, amorous dinosaur.
What about the big set of speakers in the middle of the pen?
Ah, those emit the danger call. The parasaurs will instinctively move away from it.
So basically we can herd the dinosaurs out of this pen using the speakers and their sounds.
Okay. Which button should I hit? Let's try this one.
How do I turn on the speakers?
I'll have to tell your dad to do it when we're ready.
What did I just press? Oh my gosh. Let's try this one again. Activate speakers.
Dr. Harding?
Yeah?
East, west, speaker.
West side speakers, please.
Let's try the food speakers first. Nope, they're amorous. Okay, so they want these. Okay, sheesh. Amorous. I thought they'd be hungry. No, I'm hungry. Ugh.
Dr. Harding?
Yeah?
Meeting, yeah.
I need you to activate the east side speakers, please.
East side. Okay.
Do you think they'll really turn this place into a nature preserve after this?
Like Mr. Yoder said, that guy was lying through his teeth regarding the board. But it did give me a thought. This is a huge setback for InGen. Maybe Hammond's role as CEO isn't as safe as he thinks.
What?
Dr. Harding?
Yeah?
East side speakers again.
What the hell are you supposed to do on this part? What the hell? Okay, let's see what happens if we activate the food speaker again.
Dr. Harding?
Yeah?
Food speaker?
West side speakers, please.
Okay, got those guys.
Don't take this the wrong way, but isn't this kind of pointless? They're just gonna be eaten anyway, right?
What?
Some will, yes. But others will adapt, find places to inhabit, mate, and carry on the species. A much better fate than being massacred in this pen.
But they can't mate. Dad said the dinosaurs on the island are all girls.
Well, you can never be 100% sure about something like that.
Okay, now I'm gonna turn on these speakers. And, let's see, where are they now? Okay. Food speakers.
Dr. Harding?
Yeah?
Food.
West side speakers, please.